If you know me, you know I got a lot of thoughts. And lately, the one that keeps coming back is this enough? Not in a self pity kind of way. More like I'm doing the work, I'm building, I got content ready, I got a pipeline, I got a vision, and I'm chasing hard. Like some people don't even understand. And I still find myself sitting in front of everything I've created and asking if there's something else I should be doing. Can I grow more? Am I moving fast enough? And that's a weird feeling to sit with because on one hand, that's that hunger, that's that dog in me that wants to keep going. But on the other hand, it's never shuts up. Like nothing's ever enough. And I don't know if that's a gift or a curse. That feeling doesn't just show up in how I move for myself either. It showed up in my relationship too. Putting in effort, showing up, and still feeling like whatever I do, it ain't landing. Like people always want more, and they don't even see what you already gave them. At some point, you just go numb to it with other people. You detach, do you. But when you're demanding more from yourself, you can't walk away from that. You carry it everywhere you go. So that's what I'm getting into today. That feeling of nothing is ever enough. Where it comes from, what it costs, and what do you do when you're in the middle of it and the finish line still feels far. If you ever felt like that and you're doing everything right and it still's not adding up, this one's for you. Here's the thing about being in a build mode. You don't really stop to appreciate it. Everything I do just feels like something I do. Like it's just life. Like anybody could do this. I feel like like some of these tasks I do are just easy tasks. From building a website just to hop on here, do content, get on the podcast after I building my thoughts together and putting it out, piecing it together, and then coming up how I'm gonna present it. Like to me that's just natural. To me, I feel like that's the easy part. But then I'll stop, look at my planner, look at the timeline, look what I put together in the time I have, and I'm like, oh shit, that's a lot of stuff. I don't even plan my days the way most people do. I just know what I want to accomplish, and when I get it done, I write it down. What I did around what time, just so I can say, okay, you made moves today. You doing something. Because if I don't do that, I'll convince myself that I didn't do enough. And that's a feeling that will eat you up if you let it. The wild part is other people see it before I do. I don't even realize it. Like I'll mention something in a passing, something I built, something I put out, and somebody will hit me up with, "Damn, you really out here doing it," or hit me with the, "At least you're actually doing something instead of just talking about it." I hear that, and I'll be honest with you, like I appreciate hearing things like that, but in my head, I'm still asking, but is it enough? Am I moving fast enough? Am I maximizing my time the way I should be? That's a big thing for me because my time is valuable. I have a daughter to look out for. I have a job. I work 12 hours, 4 days. So I mean, my time is limited. So I try to maximize my time. And sometimes when I need a rest or I'm resting, I feel like I should be doing something else. Because when I'm not doing something that moves this business forward, even in my downtime, my brain goes straight to I should be working. I should be growing. Every minute I'm out building feels like I'm falling behind, you know? And I know that's not healthy, but I also know I can't turn that off. That's just how I'm wired. So yeah, nothing's ever enough. Not because I'm not doing the work, because the vision is bigger than where I'm at right now. Or where you're trying to go, that's the space where doubt lives. I've also mentioned that before in the podcast, and I call it the ugly middle because that's that spot where you either gonna keep pushing or you give up. And if you listen to that podcast, I believe everything I said and I meant everything I said, but it's an ongoing battle. But I'd be lying if I said pacing myself doesn't sometimes feel like I'm killing my own momentum. Like if I slow down, somebody else is speeding up. Like the window might close, like I'm leaving something on the table, It makes you question even the things that you know to be true. Now, look, I know some of y'all can't fully understand what I'm saying on the ambition side, and that's okay. Some people just don't have that dog in them. I love y'all anyway, you know? Everybody has a purpose. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put a link at the bottom at the end of this podcast. It's a list of books that I have, and the book's called Relentless. It'll tell you about that kind of what role you decide you want to play in life, or your ambitions and what you really want. Back to the subject at hand. I know there's one thing. Some of y'all have been in situations, relationship, friendships, where no matter what you do, it's never enough. And I'm speaking from experience on this one too. See, I'm not somebody who just jumps into relationships. That's just not me. But if you're like me, move along by default, every now and then you just let somebody in. That's like going out your norm, and you try and see this might work. It's always that optimism, because I do believe deep down inside, a lot of us just want to be loved by somebody, want to be appreciated, and so forth, or not even like a relationship, just even friends, like situations, relationships, as I mentioned. Like we all just want to be appreciated and see, hey, look, I got you. We all want to get that same kind of love or that same type of respect and appreciation back. But it always seems like it still ain't enough. And I'm not talking about just showing face. I'm talking about love, friendship, real effort. Meeting somebody halfway, getting out of your comfort zone because you care about making it work. And it still ain't enough. Not the thank you, not the acknowledgement, just more complaints, more accusation, more what else can you give me? Like you're supposed to be 5 different people rolled into one. And the frustrating part isn't even the effort. You go out your character to be that person, things that you don't normally do, because that's probably not your interest, but you'd be down to do it because that's what that person's interest is. You do everything you could to make it work, and yet you still wind up in the exact same place every time you put yourself out there like that. At some point, you just go numb to it. Not guilty, not sad, just whatever. Do you, because there's nothing left to say. But that numbness, it'll cost you some things. It robs you. Because now you're carrying that on top of everything else you've already got going on. Trying to build, trying to stay sane, trying to maintain whatever mental peace you have left, and you got to regulate all those emotions. The frustration, the anger, the feeling of being played while life is still moving and still demanding things from you. That's a lot to hold. And most people don't even see you holding it. So yeah, I get why somebody like me just wants to stay on their own. And it ain't antisocial. It ain't even cold. It's just, I know what it costs me when I open up the door and it goes wrong. And sometimes the peace of being alone is worth more than the risk. But even then, even alone, that voice still there, still asking, is it enough? Am I enough? Will any of this ever be enough? That's the thing about this feeling. It follows you everywhere. Check this out. This is what I do when that voice gets too loud. I stop, not forever, just long enough. I turn my chair, I face the window, look at my plant, and I just breathe. No phone, no content, no planning, just quiet. Peace and quiet. Shutting my mind off. You call that a meditative state of mind. Because before I can receive anything from myself or anywhere else, I must get still first. Sometimes I'll put some music on after that, something that lifts me up. Certain songs just put me in a different headspace. Then I'll go grab my schedule book, my reflection notes, my 90-day goal list, and I look at what I've done. Not what's left, but what I've done. Every single time, I'm like, oh, I did that. Because when you're in motion, you don't feel it. You're just doing. You going through the motions, checking things off without even registering what it means that you just checked off. When I stop and look at the pipeline I built, the content I created, the moves I made that I didn't even realize were moves that I was making at the time, it hits different. The same goes for you, whatever you got planned. That's one reason why I made the ugly middle workbook, which I'll have the link at the bottom for that too, because that's basically what I use to judge myself or to get myself out of a rut. And in those moments, I tell myself, you owe this to yourself to ease up a little next week. Don't go so hard. Put yourself in cruise mode. The goal is still there. It ain't going nowhere. That's not quitting. That's not losing momentum. That's just being smart enough to know you're in for the long run and not the sprint. Also, as I mentioned, the plants. I love the addition of plants in my man cave / office. Man, I love it. Like, I feel like that's my biggest accomplishment in the time that I've been doing a lot of things. Well, this year alone, I take pride in that. But the one thing about these plants that help me realize things is, look, plants don't grow faster because you stare at them hard. They grow because you take care of them consistently. Give them what they need. Show up for them even on the days you don't feel like it. I'm going to repeat that. The plants don't grow faster because you stare at them harder. They grow because you take care of them consistently. Give them what they need. Show up for them even on the days you don't feel like it. And I treat my daughter the same way. And this is what I do. Constant care, love, time, and patience. That's what happens when you grow in something real. I pour into her. I pour into this. But sometimes I forget to pour into myself. You also gotta look at yourself and treat yourself like a plant. You can't water everything around you and let yourself run dry. That ain't sustainable. And deep down, you already know that. Now, here's the part I want to be honest about, because this is where a lot of people won't say what they're feeling. Everything I put out goes against the norm. I knew that before I even started. I'm not doing clickbait. I'm not doing enrage bait. I'm not pointing fingers, manufacturing drama to get eyes on me. Some might argue, what about your Sims? Man, fuck that shit. My Sims is just my personal comedy and what goes on in my head. It's just another side of me. But back to what I'm saying. What I put out, and also if you kind of look at it, what I put out on my Sims is also real. Some people are like that. But back to what I'm saying is what I put out is real. It's in your face. But in a way that makes you stop and think that you can't ignore it if you paying mind to it. And when I first started putting out stuff, I felt some kind of way when the views were there, but the likes weren't. It's like, damn, people are watching, but nobody's saying anything. I love feedback. I love constructive criticism in a sense, you know? And even if you like my shit or you don't, you telling me by you saying something, okay, you paying mind to what I'm doing. Still a good feeling. But here's what I had to understand going in. I knew I was late to this race. This podcast, content, social media, everybody has done something in some form or fashion. That's just facts. I made peace with this before I even posted the first thing. Because I also know how raw, real content gets treated. People want clickbait. People want negativity. That's what gets shared. And I want my own tribe of people. And when I mean that, I mean people who actually feel what I'm saying. People who listen and go, damn, that wasn't perfect, but I could feel it. I fuck with him because he's not trying to be a cookie cutter. He's just being himself. You know, like that's what I want. And on top of that, to throw that out there, that's why I have the Sims too. And I have my podcast. My podcast is something where you pretty much get me personally. You're growing with me when you listen to me. You're seeing the growth in me as I do this. While my Sims is basically my Sims cinema is basically my personality. Everybody has. Oh, let me just back up. Not everybody has a personality, but I could be serious. But I also like to laugh too. So that's another reason why. That's what I say. My tribe or my community of people. I want to be that everyday person. no matter where I am in my life. When you listen to me, when you watch my stuff, or if you interact with me, I want you to feel like you're sitting across from somebody who's real. Not a character, not a brand, not somebody performing for the camera. So I don't chase likes no more. Okay? I don't chase likes no more. Yes, it feels good getting them, but I don't need that validation of numbers to tell me what I already know about what I'm building. Because at the end of the day, and I mean this every time I say it, if you ride with me, cool. If not, that's cool too. But I'm not changing what this is to make it easier to digest. This is catching life strays, and it's gonna stay exactly that too. But before I get out of here, I want to talk to somebody. And honestly, I'm talking to myself too. Because I don't always listen to my own advice. I'm a work in progress just like everybody else, man. And I think that's exactly why these conversations matter. Because if you're like me, you respect somebody more when they're up front instead of pretending who they are or pretending like they got everything all figured out. Nothing's ever enough. We've been talking about this for this whole episode. Here's the truth that sometimes it's hard for even me to realize. People like me don't necessarily need praise for everything that we do, but deep down, we just want to be appreciated for what we've given, for what we built, and for what we have sacrificed. And somebody once told me, only control what you can control. I laugh at that because I know that's something I still need to work on. You can't control how people act. You can't control if they're going to appreciate you, acknowledge you, like your posts, reshare your content. You can't control any of that. Hell, some of y'all got kids, you can't even control them at a certain age. You can't even mitigate until they are old enough to kick out the house, you know? um, but don't lose who you are because you felt like you weren't enough for somebody. I'll talk about being and guarded in the open door policy episode. And I'll be real. I'm deep in that. It's hard for me to let people in. Part of me still believes one day I'll be appreciated for what I've done, but I'm guarding myself. And that's just real. Back to controlling what you can control. You can't make people appreciate you. You can't make them show up for you. But you can control whether you are being enough for yourself, for your goals, for the people who matter. And here's what I need you to hear. Whatever you've done for somebody that brushed you off or kept it moving, put that energy back into yourself. Every bit of it. Because it's always going to feel like you're not enough when it comes to other people. That goes for relationships, friendships, co-workers, even your kids sometimes. If we're being honest, that feeling doesn't go away. But you control if you're being enough for yourself. We live in this fast-paced world. We see the instant, but not the true grind behind it. So take time, give yourself some grace, because you are enough. And a lot of times, what you already done is somebody else's dream, somebody else's success story, and you're just living like it's nothing. You know what? I like that. You know, I'm gonna run that back real quick. I need you to hear that. We live in a fast-paced world. We see the instant, but not the true grind behind it. So take time, give yourself some grace, because you are enough. A lot of times, what you've already done is somebody else's dream, somebody else's success story. I want you to hear that. Somebody else's dream and somebody else's success story. And you over there acting like it's nothing. If you feel like you haven't done anything spectacular, write down your wins. Every single one of them. And if you don't have many, that's not failure. That's just a sign. Make a plan. Find a path. Make that shit happen. But just know this. You're enough to achieve anything that's meant for you. And I'm a true testament of this one. The journey ain't going to be pretty. It's not supposed to be. But if you're putting in that work daily, whether it's a little or a lot, you're doing the damn thing. That's showing up. And most days isn't enough. Believe that. As I mentioned earlier in this podcast, I'm going to put down 2 links. I got the Ugly Middle workbook. and I got a book link to books that inspire me and allow me to get to this point. Books are a lot cheaper than coaches, real people coaches. You know what I'm saying? And you can move at your own pace. But anyway, I'm gonna throw my suggestions out there so y'all can just peep them out. Like I said, you'll see the link in my library that I'll show you. There's 5 books I believe I put in there. I'm definitely gonna be adding more because those are just the 5 that stood out to me. And to end it with this, if you ride with me, cool. If not, that's cool too. This has been Catching Live Strays. I'll holler at y'all next episode.